I wanted to come in and just thank everyone who has come in, texted, called, and checked in for my birthday. Thank you. And I had told you guys that it was a crazy experience that I had for my birthday. I was actually in the hospital, which is a series of events that brought me back to the hospital. So I just wanted to kind of like give a little quick brief. I didn't have any events. I didn't have any, anything that I was doing. I wasn't out and about because, I was laid up, thankfully, in Methodist Hospital in Brooklyn, and they took very good care of me. They did their best to help me celebrate. They all, came in and wished me happy birthday, to nurses and everything. They were so caring, and I really appreciate that. My doctor, my PCP that I've had for so many years, she's also in Brooklyn, and when I came and talked to her about some things that was happening with me, she immediately rushed me to the hospital. Did my solar return, my annual reflection. I told you guys as a part of our me and Hesier's commitment to personal growth and development as human beings and as contributors to the Earth's landscape, responsible global world citizens, are some systems that we put in place, which is doing a incremental self-assessment, but also an annual self-assessment, as well as we design goals and things for ourselves to commit to for the year, which is how we are committed and we are able to expand as human beings and live beyond our circumstances that we came into as younger people every day and achieve higher and higher and push ourselves and stretch ourselves to become bigger and better and more, more, right, as we see fit for our own personal development, because we all know what our personal development is. We can either deal with our deficits or not. We choose to deal with our deficits and make supplements and things like that, which is a part of the growing folks, growing journey, etc. But I actually had fallen, as the story goes, here in Newark on the way to work. I was doing a small contract I took, in the midst of my, some of you guys know that I had been moving around professionally, looking for networking, sending out resumes and in networking, all these different things, and nothing panned out, right? So I ended up taking a situation, doing a little small contract gig, and I was en route on the 23rd of September, where I had fallen. And you guys know also I had surgery last year. So in order to not hurt myself, I fell on my hip. So, family, this is where the plot thickens, right? So, we had actually asked to go to St. Michael's Hospital, but they said that they were diverting people, that we had to go to university. So, we went to university. I was in the emergency room for 17 hours, and then I was admitted. I had so many x rays and different things, and they didn't find anything. No, they said strain, maybe sprain or such, no fracture, no broken bones. Give thanks. I'm glad for that. And this is where I say to you that, self advocacy is very important, and knowing your body, and also being self educated and being able to guide the space, which is something that I so often do, because the looming thing that nobody talks about is anti blackness. And anti blackness and other African people looks like self hatred. And because we're not really engaged with that side of us, we're not really talking to ourselves and our community around how to circumvent our manifested behaviors, our self-hatred manifested behaviors. We actually do a lot of things, and I'm on a receiving end of a lot of behaviors that are a result of self-hatred in African people, because I choose to live my life based on the set of goals and principles that I set for myself. And it really saddened me this year, coming through this experience at the hospital and having to tussle and tussle. I ended up getting discharged on a Wednesday, and I told them that I couldn't leave because I needed to talk to the doctor. I wasn't clear on what my discharge plan was. I still was in pain, and I couldn't leave. So they brought the doctor to me the next day, the PA, social worker, etc. There was a couple of people that are notable that, really tried to help, amongst all this other things that I was experiencing while I was there. And the doctor came in the next day, and they ended up prescribing me gabapentin. Gabapentin, which is some sort of nerve pain medicine or something. because I told them that I was still in pain and that my leg, I was having some pains in my leg. It's not happening. This is not working. And they were giving me this gabapentin 3 times a day at the hospital while I was there for the 3 days that I was admitted. And I said, guys, this isn't working, etc., etc. So I'm discharged on Thursday. Mind you, sidebar, while we're in the hospital, my husband gets a boot on the car because he parked in the wrong parking spaces, and they only take cash, $200 cash. So the black tax that I talk to you about, the things that make quality of life difficult for African people, because everywhere you turn, somebody is trying to mooch off, take something, siphon off something from you while you're trying to build forward into a particular direction. This was one of those times. So I took this $200. I go home Thursday night, Friday early morning. This pain in my leg is so unbearable. It's throbbing. I take a BC powder. I always take BC powders. And then we get up that day, and I said, well, let me go to the gym. Let me go to the hot tub. Let me see if I can go to the sauna and get them heat therapy. I've been doing heat therapy for 30 years of my life. You know, I'm in room temperatures, 215 degrees is no big deal. I get out of this hot tub on this particular day, and I nearly faint. I'm in there 15 minutes. I nearly fainted. A woman caught me as I was about to fall and buckle, and she sat with me, and she put cold water. She said my blood pressure was probably up. She said, let me put cold water on you, on your neck and on your feet to take your blood pressure down. Went home, managed. My pressure went down. I started feeling better. She gave me got someone to give me a piece of crackers or something to help with my sugar or what have you. And then I went home. I had been drinking a lot of water, so that was good. Friday, I called my doctor. She gave me an appointment to come in Monday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm at my doctor's office at 1:30. My doctor sees me at 4:45, and I tell her that this pain in my leg is not stopped. It still persists. I show her this gabapentin. She said, no, it's not nerves. She sent me to the emergency room. Brooklyn Methodist, 40 minutes after I get in, they do a sonogram on my leg, and they find out that I have blood clots in my leg. They do a CAT scan about 20 minutes later on my chest. Find out that I have some blood clots that traveled to my chest. So now I'm faced with this experience that, pulmonary embolism, blood clots, they're serious, like fatal serious. And I'm feeling all kinds of frustrated at this point because I advocated for myself. And only for the grace, as I fall under grace, yet again, as my ancestors, and the divine continues to guide me and protect me and move me in such a way that has me move in a trajectory, regardless to what the environment or what professionals or this one is saying, because if you can't beat them, don't join them. Birds of a feather flock together, don't go that way. 1,000 people going to jump off the bridge, don't jump too. And I stay in my focused mindset. I sat there and I did. And I actually ended up getting cut right here. If you look at this, can you see this? I don't know if you can see it. But the doctor said don't get cut or the bleeding, does, et cetera, et cetera. It took a good while for this little teeny cut to stop bleeding. So that means that I was scared to leave the hospital because they said PE. I was like, what? So how do I know if the pills are working? Because they didn't take another x-ray after I left and took my test. I was just so I was going through all kinds of stuff, And I can think back to my grandmother, who I told you guys a story some time ago. She passed away. She was very discontented with her, her last years, etc. Because she experienced a lot of laughter and joy and different things like that. But, she always would say, if I was smart as you, if I had all your good brains, Grandma, she's something else. She would say, if I had all your good brains, I would thus and thus and thus and thus, and she was the only one who was really enamored by me being so smart. I was 12 years old. My IQ, I tested 152. I was always in gifted and talented programs. I always had an exceptional way of assessing things as a young person. And people were like, oh, she's just so wise beyond your years. And it was cute when I was younger, but I'm moving through a world that is becoming more and more just not human friendly, not personal development friendly. You know, people have this. I think the sister said it's like leading role syndrome or something. Leading role syndrome, where people feel like they're some sort of actor and everybody else are like supporting roles in their lives, and somehow they're celebrities. And I think this social media has got people's minds all the way jacked up. I come from a time when you had to earn your keep by demonstrating integrity. My word, my vibe, my energy, who I am as an individual. Without words, people just get it. They get it immediately because I have integrity. It's called integrity. I know what I know. I don't try to know what I don't know. I do know what I do know, and that's what I stick with. And when I don't know something, I'm wide open to be able to make an assessment of what I don't know and ask for support. And I don't have no qualms with not knowing something, right? I don't pretend to try to know things because those things get people in danger. This thing with my health right here, this is so serious. It's not even funny. The pain that they gave me gabapentin for the pain that I was having, but I really was having blood clots. And there is a doctor's name on here that I spoke to. And I'm getting ready. I'm gonna reach out to this doctor, and I'm going to let her have this opportunity to be with her process. And I'm not calling to bite her head off or cuss her out. That's not why I'm calling. I'm calling as a follow-up, right, as a patient. I think she tried to be nice. I feel like she may have tried to be kind, I think. And I'm going to just give her the follow-up to let her know what occurred, what happened next. Because I don't want to be the sad story of what happened next for somebody's mistake. And I have been on the losing end more times than I care to recall because of other people's mistakes, their ignorance, their lack of knowing, their fear, their inadequacy, the fact that they wasn't ready for me to move. So because they wasn't ready, so they just stopped me from moving. I'm gonna stop you because I got to go get ready. Like I none of this makes sense to me. And as far as my philosophy around Namaste and Ubuntu and the golden rule, do unto others, you have others to do unto you, it's all a double negative as far as I'm concerned. None of it makes sense to me. And I have no ways of understanding how to circumvent it. So this year's assessment is basically trying to circumvent the circumstances of other people's perceptions of what they believe is right, and the fact that I'm unfolding and I'm living my own life, right? And I'm living my life to be a viable contributor to the whole. So I've designed myself so that I'm not a parasite or a taker. I know other people never consider that because this society is based on having to exploit yourself, someone, or something in order to gain whatever. The society is built on that because the powers that be created that. That's why we have a debt-based monetary system and a whole bunch of stuff that we don't even get into right now. But this is my assessment. This is my flow through. These are the things, my thoughts at this point. It wasn't a very happy birthday for me, although I am in grace and I am in gratitude that the divine continued to cover me and my ancestors continue to guide and inspire me and protect me and keep me. This is just another crazy brush that I'm just like, I cannot believe this. So I'm supposed to watch out for myself. I'm supposed to take the medication twice a day. I'm supposed to get exercise. I already get exercise. I'm already, but I'm gonna have to try to do a different type of regimen now at this point. Yeah, family. This is my feedback. This is my thoughts on this year, 47, and and then I have people who also just a sidebar, continue to insert themselves into my life as if they don't understand why they don't have a front row seat to my life. I have had relationships with people that left so much to be desired. as I worked with them, as I continued to maintain friendship with them as they worked through their process, and they never got there. So for the duration of those friendships, sometimes 20, 30-year friendships, they just were takers. They served me subpar. They did not think the best possibility for me. They didn't offer me anything that was for my best, greatest good. And I consistently supported their growth. And many of them have achieved a level of whatever it is that they was trying to achieve, which wasn't what I'm trying to achieve. I'm talking about, a level of self-mastery. Most people are not looking for self-mastery. They're looking for a better seat in the master's house. They're looking for maintenance, and they want to have some shazam and pizzazz. And that's fine for most people. And most people, that's all that they want to do, and that's their entire trajectory. They're not interested in anything beyond that. And that's fine, and I don't encroach nor force anybody to do anything. I'm just living my own life. So if me living my life causes you to have some conviction, and that's something you need to deal with in the way you deal with it, with your divine, with your prayers, with your spirituality, with whatever you got going on. That has nothing to do with me. So don't come for me, right? Because I'm living my life as I see fit, based on what I'm committed to and my principles and my value system. So what happens next is they find the blood clots. They start me on Eliquis. This is a treatment for DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, which is in my leg, the blood clots, and pulmonary embolism. So now I'm on this medicine that they give me that I have to take now for the next 90 days. It's a track that they have situated where it's 2 pills per day. And I just want to show you what it is now, right? So this is what it is, right? I'm here. I came home, took 1 pill when I got home that night, and then took the 2 pills right there. So I talk about the self-advocacy piece because, for one, my stature, and even without words, it's my energy, because I've done so much personal work on myself and I've activated, people understand Christian theory. I have a lot of other theories, but people understand Christian theory, coming out white as snow, being renewed, and you cannot experience, you don't feel the energy of any of my previous traumas, because I've cleansed and cleaned that energy. A lot of people say that I'm healing, but their actions and their behaviors, and they radiate in the energy of their trauma. They make decisions from their trauma base. Scarcity and being withholding, and those are reflexes of scarcity. Those are reflexes when you behave in response to your trauma. That's not the behavior of healing. So this is why we have to continue to move forward with our journey, which is why I say to you, you may be on track, but you're not there yet. You're not there yet, because envy, inadequacy, imposter syndrome, when withholding, all those things are remnants of symptoms of what occurs after trauma. And when I say that I'm not the end all and be all, but I have tested the theory and I put it into my life, and it has shown up in my life as something alien and foreign to people, because we're not in healing. If I'm foreign, if I'm expressing healing and I'm advocating for myself and I'm getting all this pushback and I'm telling you what's good for me, and that this gabapentin, this nerve stuff here isn't working because that was a guess. Doctors, they do that. They do based on your symptoms. They will try to make an assessment based on what you say. Maybe this, maybe that, right? But oftentimes there are tests. When I got to Brooklyn Methodist Hospital, 40 minutes in the door, with what my doctor had sent me on a prescription script for me to go in there to the ER, they immediately knew to do a sonogram. And they did that sonogram, and they immediately found it, and they immediately went into treating it. Mind you, I had been like this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to my doctor's office at 1:30. I didn't get to the ER until 6 o'clock. And anytime in between there, these blood clots could have done damage. Okay? So that put me in a very situation of reflection. And, I'm always trying to see the silver lining. That's my fundamental way of being. I'm a solution-based thinker. But it also sent me into a situation of regret. Because one, I have so much work that I haven't been able to do because I'm dealing consistently with people who are living inside of their trauma. They're living inside of scarcity, inadequacy, imposter. And these individuals or circumstances are in places because life are a series of events. And I have pivoted, added value, added value, added value. And then I come to a place where I'm in a situation where, because of the work situation, I'm now in this particular situation, and this particular situation has me in this, at this train station en route, falling in the train station, and then going to this particular hospital. When I asked to go to the hospital that I was comfortable with, they took me because they were forcing me to go someplace I didn't want to go. And then I received such horrific subpar care at that hospital. I can't even begin to think of how saddened I had become and in fear at this hospital. I didn't want to leave because I know that they have the capacity and the equipment and things to check me. But I wanted to leave because I was scared, like, these people don't care about me. They're not listening to what I am saying. And we all know Harriet Washington's medical apartheid and how the educational system trains people to not see the humanity, just kind of like these waves of people and interactions, but we don't really engage with each other as humans. We don't really hear and listen, and we don't have the compassion because, you know, and this is a sidebar. I talk to my youth, and my youth is traumatized by my experiences because I'm one of the nicest people. And when I say nice, I don't mean just smiling and skinning and grinning. I mean nice as in do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. I've actually mechanized that too, and I actually live this every single day of my life. I do not get the reciprocity from it though. I engage with other people all the time, doing unto others as you would have others to do unto you. I authentically want to see the best for others as I want to see for myself. I don't possess a jealous bone in my body, an envious or covetous bone in my body. Never have. If there's ways for me to add value to people, I always rush and do that, you know. And now I've gotten to the point where I have to sit back and think that, you know, doing these things hasn't been beneficial to me. And then I'm in a tight spot at this doctor's office now, and they're pushing me around. And now I'm in a tight situation for my health. And this has happened to me. This happened to me last year. I was in a situation that I shouldn't have been in, but because of circumstance and maybe desperation, I took a job, a position someplace that ended up being an absolute nightmare. I mean, a nightmare. I experienced a level of bullying. And see, y'all don't know that I experienced microaggressions and bullying like every day of my life. Like living as a fully functional, reanimated African, people's behavior and anti-blackness and self-hatred of other black people is reflexive. They don't even see the coldness and the bullying and the microaggressions that they have as a reflex of their behavior, and they're targeting me as I'm living my own life. I'm not doing anything. I'm not a performer. I'm introverted. I know I seem extroverted, but I'm an introverted person. I'd rather be in the corner reading my book, minding my business in the quiet space with very little movement, right? Just centeredness, right? I have achieved that. That is what I revel in. Those are the environments and spaces, which is why I only put myself in spaces and places that nurture those parts of my being. I don't have any desire to keep up with the Joneses. It never has been a part of my fundamental practice. My grandmother used to say something all the time: don't be trying to keep up with the Joneses. That means clothes, behaviors, style, social pop culture, and all these things that they use to move people's lives around and continue to have people to be behaving in ways that are being puppet masterish. So since none of those faculties work with me, people have a difficult time engaging because they cannot function outside of those mechanisms. And that's upsetting to me because they have hindered a lot of progress in places and spaces that I've been in. Overeducated, underemployed, skilled through the roof. And I have situations where I'm sitting with people who have 2% of the work experience, life experience that I have, and have the capacity to say, well, you don't do the Shazam and pizzazz. You don't have enough bells and whistles in order to be worthy, in order for your word to matter, in order for your life to matter. That I'm faced with, this is eloquent, this is called eloquence, that I'm faced down with now having to take this for the next 90 days for my life because I run into people's behaviors. And it just, 47 years, right? I've been 28 for the past, and that's what I've been sticking with. And that's what radiates out of my energy, the youthfulness, the glow, the joy, and all that. Because in my 20s, I had already been saying that as far as wisdom, life experience, circumstances, traumas, etc., I had experienced enough life for someone 3 times my age. Right. So even at the age that I am now, the level of wisdom and insight that I have is like cosmic level. But as far as my daily being and the way people interact, because people mostly only interact on the surface level, I'm here at a, very jovial, very youthful and hopeful space, but feeling very, just very saddened and heavy hearted. All right, family. Thank you for sticking in here and listening to my story. This has been an insane story, an insane year. Thankfully, to be falling under grace, I'm just so in much gratitude. It's in gratitude with that. And we'll continue to pivot, family. We'll continue to pivot. We'll continue to defy all odds. Big P from the group home. Give thanks. Salve, family. And namaste. The divine to me honors and respect the divine to you. Peace, power, and blessings. See you again soon.